All right, I'm back. I had to get out of the sun. I think I got a sunburn just reading the last half a chapter. All right, so Mr. Gridley, Keith's father, was going down the hall to go to the night clerk to get a aspirin because Keith is sick and has a fever. Oh, I'm so hot, mumbled Keith. I'm so hot. His mother wrung out a washcloth in cold water and laid it gently on her son's forehead. You'll feel better as soon as we get you some aspirin, she whispered. The minutes dragged by. Oh, what's keeping him, thought Ralph. Why doesn't that dad hurry up? The old hotel snapped and creaked. Keith rolled and tossed, trying to find a cool spot on the pillow, and his mother wrung out the washcloth in more cold water. Oh, when's Dad coming? Asked Keith, his eyes bright and his cheeks flushed with fever. In a minute, dear, soothed his mother. He'll be here in a minute. Oh, I wish he'd hurry, thought Ralph. But still the minutes dragged. Finally, footsteps were heard in the hall, and Mr. Gridley returned to room 215. Here's your father with the aspirin, whispered Mrs. Gridley to Keith. Oh, at last, thought Ralph. I thought he'd never come. Mr. Gridley shook his head. There is not an aspirin to be found in the whole hotel. He sounded thoroughly exasperated. First of all, the night clerk was sound asleep on a couch in the lobby. I had the dickens of a time waking him up, and when I finally did manage to, he could not find any aspirin anywhere. Oh, no, exclaimed the mother. Oh, no, echoed Ralph's thoughts. Well, what about the little gift shop off of the lobby? Asked Mrs. Gridley. They must sell aspirin there. It's locked up tight, closed for the night, and the clerk who runs it went home with the key, answered Mr. Gridley. Oh, dear. The night clerk was really very nice about it. He even came up and looked in the housekeeper's office. Well, how far to the nearest pharmacy? 25 miles back on the main highway, answered the father, and it closed at 10 o'clock. It won't be open till 9 tomorrow morning. The mother looked at her watch under the lamp. Oh my goodness, it's almost 1 o'clock. It's 8 hours till it will be open. She crossed the room to wring out the washcloth again. What will we do? What can we do? I even called the doctor, but there's been a bad accident back on the highway, and the doctor can't come here. The night clerk said he'd call the milkman before he starts his route at 6 and ask him if he can bring some aspirin, but he won't get here till 7 or even later. All we can do is wait. Keith tossed under the cold washcloth. Mom, I think I'd like to go to sleep now, he muttered thickly. I guess that's all you can do, dear, said his mom, and bent over to kiss his hot forehead before she turned out the light. Ralph did not even wait for the boy's parents to leave the room. As soon as the light was out, he leaped silently to the carpet, and by the time the parents had gone through the doorway into room 216, he had hidden his little crash helmet behind the curtain and was halfway through the knothole. Somewhere, someplace in that hotel, there was an aspirin, and Ralph was going to find it. He only wished he had the motorcycle so he could travel faster. And that is where I am going to stop. That is the end of chapter 10. Our next chapter, 11, is chapter The Search. Catch you later. Gotta find some more shade.